Good morning, everybody. It is July 15th, and I guess we'll say this is your plan of attack. I used to do this a lot. I used to do these things called plan of attacks, where they were my plan for the day, basically if this, then that type of situation when I was trading 0 DTE on SPX based off of analyzing the ES. Well, as of late, I've been obviously a day trader of futures, and I won't be able to do this every day yet, but I'm going to go ahead and try doing this a little bit more often. But basically, what this is going to be a breakdown of how I'm analyzing the markets, and then as far as it kind of gives my market thesis or where I think the market may go based off of X, Y, and Z. And if it doesn't, then hey, we'll look short into X, Y, and Z, things like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started then. So, like I said, it's July 15th, and there has been. I always like to check the economic data, and we just had CPI come out. And then after that, we do have a FOMC member speaking, and then into the afternoon they are as well. And then I plan to be flat by that time, so it does not matter. So let's go ahead and see how I'm looking at this. So for me, my style of trading is I look for where the trend and momentum is, and I like to get into the direction of the trend and momentum on higher time frames at a 2 or 3 ATR on the shorter time frames, basically. So before we do any of that, I need to know what the larger time frames are doing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up ES first, and we'll go over to the 15-minute time frame. You may notice if you've seen any of my videos before, that I did change the colors. I was going to try this theory if the colors actually cause a motion. So all of my bullish directions are this darkish blue color, and then the bearish colors are kind of like this light pale pastel orangish color. So just giving that a shot. And so, like I said, this is the 15-minute time frame, and you can see these levels of support and resistance. All I did was draw them based off of the 15-minute time frame, off levels where price seems to be respected. And some things worth noting here is okay. So price is above yesterday's VWAP, obviously, since we're up some right now, and then so we spiked up yesterday, right? We pulled back to the 15-minute 21 EMA, rallied up back under resistance, came back, made a higher low, pushed back up, came down, tested VWAP, and now we're pushing up again. All right, so I mean, looking at all of that from the 15-minute time frame, all right, okay, cool. So we can basically plan to go long. There is a 15-minute squeeze building right here. So in a nutshell, I do like the idea of taking the ES long at the moment. Now, how far do we want to take it? That is basically depends on what you look, because we're going to hit all-time highs if we start to break out from here. So one thing you can do if you're new to trading is you can go get your fibs. So you do last major swing high, last major swing low, and that puts us, so we hit the 1672, or sorry, 1272 extension right there. The 1618 is up above. And then as far as any bigger ones, you could theoretically go from a bigger swing, right? You go from this swing high down to this major swing low, since that is going to be resistance there. But this is a much bigger picture, but it puts us up to 63.56. So you can look at that as a target, but one thing I like to do for targets is I like to look at Bookmap. Let's go ahead and look at ES. We'll see at the moment where the orders lined up. So right now, there are orders lined up at 63.40. You can see a few have started building out here. We'll call it just 63.47, and then obviously up here at 63.50. So those are levels that I would be watching for potentially taking profit on. And it doesn't mean it can't change. Orders can be lifted and then moved even higher. And then look, there's even some being placed up above. So you can see that there. Oh, that's funny. I turned it on and it's still kind of lined up perfectly with it. So 63.55, and then some are being built up here. We'll call it 63.58. So all in all, in a nutshell, you can see that there are potential targets up there. You can screenshot this and kind of see how they react at those levels. But that's just how I want to be picking my targets of price going up. But I do like the idea of price going to the upside based off the 15-minute squeeze. We could even look at the 30-minute, so on and so forth, and everything is looking good for a break. We're building out this 30-minute squeeze. So everything's looking great to the upside. How am I going to be trading this? The way I like to trade it is, okay, so I have a bullish thesis, right? So what do? I come over here. If everything is looking bullish, what I would like to see ideally. So market price is going to push up. We have this 1 minute squeeze building. Well, what I kind of like to see for me anyway is let's just say price does push up, it kind of consolidates, and then it moves down. And let's just pretend that this is right here. And this is the third and second ATR, right? Average true range. So I'll be negative 2 to 3 ATR from the 1 minute 21 EMA, right? So if price comes down to this level, kind of oscillates, I'll look to get long here with my stop outside the extension, looking for the higher time frame trends to continue to go back up. So this is how you could risk like 3 points and grab anywhere from 10 to 20, things like that, depending on how long and it's going to move, and depends on obviously what's happening in the markets and things like that. But that's what I'm going to do, regardless of whatever strategy system you use. I think right now at the moment it looks like bullish is the way to go. Now, what if it does change? Like, says the market opens and the market just flushes, right? Well, we can pull it back up to the 15-minute time frame here, and well, say it stalls, it wicks one more time, and we take out this low. Well, then really we can just wait for the push lower, and then you get short into this, and then potentially look for a potential move lower down into this zone here, which is about 63.10, if that happens. But at the moment, there's no reason to think it's going to happen. But all you can do is wait and see. And that also goes for the NQ. Everything is looking bullish as well. ES and NQ are the main ones I trade. And same thing here. You see prices just moving higher based off of there's the 15-minute squeeze, 30-minute squeeze. Everything's looking great. As far as the NQ goes, like where orders lining up at. Well, there's some lining up at 23.12, a little bit at 23.20, and doesn't look like there's a whole bunch up ahead. So some levels was watching there, and the NQ is a little bit different to read here as it bounces all over the place. It's a lot more volatile, right? But that is pretty much it. Yeah, the as far as commodities go, gold and oil. Oil looks like it support held here, but it may rally just up into the hourly 50 and then kind of stall there. So I don't really like to set up there. And I also look at the daily time frame. So if we look here at the daily on gold. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. So it's stalling right underneath one of David's snow lines. It's also just consolidating here, so it's going to have to either break out or fall down, but there's a bunch of support down below. It just doesn't seem overly clear on the daily time frame. If we look at the hourly, it's not overly clear either, so that's why I'd rather focus on the ES and NQ today. And when it comes down to oil, oil is looking a little bit interesting on that Colgate. Um, Oil is looking a little bit more interesting, but I will say it came down to this level here, held support at this last major swing low, Anchored VWAP. Price did spike up and it's kind of just bouncing around here. It looks like it wants to flush lower, but it's not overly clear, right? So if it does hold, like we'll call it here, right? Let's go here to this hourly time frame. If it does hold here, and then breaks and flush down to 68 or sorry 64.50ish level, but if it holds may also go up. It's just unclear. So my two favorite things to day trade today at this current moment is going to be the ES and then Q, and at the moment it just looks like it wants to go bullish. Now whatever your strategy is, I think lean that way, but if it changes, I showed you the levels where I'm looking for it to change. But yeah, let me know if you found this helpful. Let me know what kind of strategies you trade. And other than that, yeah, we'll see if I keep this thing going. And I want to try, but life's a little busy with the newborn. Well, I just can't say newborn. He's 1 year old now. But y'all have a fantastic day and good luck out there.